You've tried forgetting, ignoring, pretending it doesn't hurt anymore. But some memories don't fade. They haunt your rest, even when your eyes are closed. Lying awake, your mind replays old wounds, each memory like a weight pressing on your chest. The more you resist, the heavier they feel, draining your peace, stealing your rest. This isn't just about sleep. It's about freeing yourself. Buddhist teachings on letting go of negativity offer a gentle path, not by fighting your pain, but by releasing it, like clouds passing through an open sky. Imagine tonight, your heart lighter, your mind quiet, your breath steady. No longer clinging, just breathing. If you're ready to dissolve what no longer serves you, stay with me. Together, we'll change how you rest and how you rise. We are scattered across the world, but stories bring us into the same quiet room. If one of these stories finds you tonight and something stirs, let us know below. Your presence might be the gentle light someone else needs to see their path. Now breathe in, and together, let us begin the journey into the stillness of night, where healing gently unfolds. Welcome to this quiet space, this sanctuary you are creating just by being here, just by choosing to rest. The day, with all its noise and all its demands, is now a memory. Its echoes may still linger in the corners of your mind, like the faint scent of rain after a storm. But here, in this moment, you are invited to enter the stillness of night. Close your eyes and allow the world to fade. Let go of the person you were today, the doer, the thinker, the warrior, the planner. Allow that version of you to dissolve, just for now, into the soft darkness behind your eyes. Let this be a time for healing from within, a gentle, deep sleep meditation designed to bring you profound inner peace. We begin by creating sacred space, not with candles or incense, but with the most ancient and powerful tool you possess, your breath. Bring your awareness to the gentle rhythm of your breathing. Notice the soft rise of your chest and belly as you inhale. Notice the gentle fall as you exhale. There is no need to change it, no need to force it. Simply observe. This breath has been with you every moment of your life, a faithful, silent companion. Tonight, we honor it. We listen to its quiet wisdom. With each inhale, imagine you are drawing in the calm, quiet energy of the night sky, vast, silent, and filled with a billion sleeping stars. Feel this cool, peaceful energy entering your body, traveling through your nostrils, down your throat, and filling your lungs with a sense of expansive stillness. With each exhale, imagine you are releasing the dust of the day. Let go of the tension in your shoulders. Let go of the tightness in your jaw. Let go of the hurried thoughts that race like clouds across the moon. Breathe in stillness. Breathe out noise. This is the first step in our journey, a core teaching of Zen Buddhism, finding the sacred in the simple. The present moment is your temple, and your breath is the key that unlocks the door. Imagine an old Zen Buddhist temple nestled high in the mountains, far away from the clamor of the world. The sun has set, and a deep velvet blue blankets the sky. Inside the main hall, a single monk moves with quiet, deliberate grace. He is not performing a grand ceremony. He is simply closing the temple for the night. His first act is to light a single candle. Watch him in your mind's eye. He strikes a wooden match, and for a moment, the tiny flame flickers, casting a dancing shadow on his calm face. He brings this small light to the wick of a thick, white candle on the altar. The flame catches, steadies, and grows into a soft, unwavering glow. This one small flame doesn't banish the darkness. It honors it. It creates a small, warm pool of light within the vast, peaceful dark. This is what you are doing now with your awareness. You are not trying to fight the darkness of sleep or the shadows of your thoughts. You are simply lighting a single, steady flame of gentle attention. Just this breath, in this moment, this is your candle in the dark. Now, the monk picks up a soft broom made of bound twigs. He begins to sweep the wide, wooden floors of the hall. Listen to the sound, the soft, rhythmic of the broom against the wood. It is a soothing, predictable sound, a sound of cleansing, a sound of care. He is not rushing to finish. His mind is not on tomorrow's tasks. His entire universe in this moment is the feeling of the wooden handle in his hands, the sight of the dust gathering before the broom, and the gentle, whispering sound of his work. Each sweep is a meditation. Each sweep is a prayer. With each sweep, he is not just cleaning the floor, he is clearing his mind. Let the rhythmic sound of this imaginary broom sweep through your own mind. each soft, imagine it is gathering the scattered fragments of your day, the unfinished conversations, the lingering worries, the small frustrations. There goes a worry about work. There goes a replay of a conversation. There goes the mental to-do list for tomorrow. The monk is not agitated by the dust. He does not curse it. He simply sees it for what it is, the natural accumulation of a day lived, and gently, methodically, sweeps it away. This is the essence of Buddhist mindfulness, a practice for mental relaxation and letting go. You are not your thoughts. You are not your worries. You are the quiet, calm presence behind them, the one who can watch them being swept away. Breathe. Feel the stillness deepening in your body. As you focus on this simple, imagined scene, your nervous system begins to settle. Your heart rate slows. Your muscles soften. You are creating a sacred space inside yourself, a temple of tranquility where you can find rest. The monk finishes his sweeping. He collects the small pile of dust and carries it outside, releasing it to the night wind. He looks up at the sky, at the moon hanging like a silver lantern, and he bows, not in worship, but in acknowledgement of the vast, silent peace that holds everything. He then moves to the large, heavy wooden doors of the temple. He closes one and then the other. The sound is not a slam, but a deep, resonant thud that echoes for a moment before being absorbed by the profound silence of the mountain. The temple is now closed. It is safe. It is still. It is at peace. In this moment, you can do the same. Gently close the doors to the outside world. Give yourself permission to be unavailable. Nothing is required of you now. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do, and no one to be. There is only this stillness, only this breath. This is the foundation of our journey tonight. This is the first and most important of the Buddhist teachings we will explore. The power of settling the body and mind to create a space for healing. This is a form of deep sleep meditation, a gentle sleep hypnosis with Zen parables that guide you toward emotional healing. The world slows down for you now. Let the silence speak where words no longer matter. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the surface beneath you. Give your weight fully to the bed, to the earth. Trust that you are held. Trust that you are supported. The monk in the temple is now sitting in silent meditation. The single candle flame is reflected in his calm, half-closed eyes. The vast silence of the temple surrounds him, but it is not an empty silence. It is a silence that is full of presence, full of peace. This is the silence you are now entering. It is the space between your thoughts, the pause at the end of an exhale, the quiet hum of your own being. Let this feeling of stillness expand. Feel it in your toes, your feet, your ankles. A gentle, warm stillness, releasing all tension. Let it travel up into your legs, your knees, your thighs, soothing every muscle, every fiber. Allow this peaceful stillness to fill your hips, your abdomen, your lower back. This area so often holds our stress, our worry. Let it all dissolve into this healing quiet. Feel the stillness rise into your chest, calming your heart. Feel it in your back, spreading across your shoulder blades like warm water. Let it flow down your arms, through your elbows, into your wrists, your hands, and all the way to the tips of your fingers. Finally, allow this profound stillness to bathe your neck, your throat, your jaw, your face. Soften the tiny muscles around your eyes. Smooth the space between your eyebrows. Let your entire head feel light and clear, held in this benevolent quiet. You have prepared your temple. You have lit the candle of awareness. You have swept the floors of your mind. You have closed the doors to the world. You are here, in the stillness of night, safe, calm, ready for the journey inward. This is the first step in letting go. Not by force, but by creating the conditions for release to happen naturally. Just as a tightly clenched fist can only open when the muscles are told to relax, your mind can only let go of negativity when it is resting in a state of deep, unconditional stillness. This is the timeless wisdom of Zen Buddhism, a practical path to calm a restless mind and find inner peace. It is not about escaping reality, but about entering it more deeply, more peacefully. It is about finding the profound in the ordinary, the sacred in the silence. For the next few moments, simply rest in this space you have created. No stories yet, no deep analysis, just the simple, pure experience of being still. If thoughts arise, see them as clouds drifting through the vast night sky of your mind. You are the sky, not the clouds. You don't have to chase them or fight them. Just let them drift by. The goal is not to have an empty mind, but a peaceful mind. A mind that allows things to come and go without being disturbed. This is the beginning of emotional release. This is the foundation of restful sleep. Breathe. You are safe. You are held. You are entering the stillness of night. From the still silence of night, we gently turn inward to feel the emotional weight we carry, unspoken burdens from the day. From the still silence of night, we gently turn inward to feel the emotional weight we carry, unspoken burdens from the day. Now that you are resting in this quiet, peaceful space, we can begin the next step of this deep sleep meditation, a gentle exploration guided by Buddhist teachings. This step is about gentle honesty without resistance. It is about turning your soft, candle-like awareness toward the feelings that may be lingering within you. So often, we try to push away negativity. We distract ourselves. We numb ourselves. We tell ourselves we shouldn't feel this way. But the wisdom of Buddhist psychology suggests a different path. To turn toward our suffering with kindness, to acknowledge its presence without being consumed by it. Imagine you are standing on the shore of a perfectly still, moonlit lake. The temple you prepared is behind you, and before you is this vast, reflective water. The air is cool and clean. Everything is at peace. But you notice you are carrying a heavy bag over your shoulder. You've been carrying it for so long. Perhaps you've almost forgotten it's there, mistaking its weight for the normal burden of being alive. This bag represents the unfelt emotions, the unspoken griefs, the quiet anxieties of the day, or perhaps of many days. The first step is not to throw the bag into the lake. The first step is simply to acknowledge that you are carrying it. Gently, in your mind, allow yourself to feel its weight. Let your awareness scan your body once more, but this time with a specific question. Where am I holding the day? Perhaps you feel a tightness in your chest, a familiar ache of anxiety or sadness. Perhaps there is a knot in your stomach, a churning of worry or fear. Maybe you feel it as a heaviness in your shoulders, the physical manifestation of carrying too much responsibility. Or a clenching in your jaw, holding back words that were never said. There is no judgment here. No need to analyze why it's there or what it means. The only task is to feel, to be gently honest with yourself. Ah, yes, there is a weight here. This is the core principle of this section: awareness of emotional tension. Let this be a practice in letting go of the resistance to what is. Let us explore this through a Zen story, a parable about a woman known in her village for her unyielding strength. Her name was Kiko, and she had faced many hardships in her life: loss, disappointment, and struggle. To everyone in the village, she was a pillar. Her back was always straight, her smile was always ready, and she never, ever complained. But each night, when Kiko returned to her small, quiet home, the strength would leave her. She would sit in the dark and feel a great, invisible weight settle upon her. It was a crushing force, making it hard to breathe, making her heart ache with a sorrow she could not name. She fought it. Every night she would tell herself, "I must be stronger. I must not feel this. I have overcome so much. This is nothing." She would try to meditate, but her mind would race. She would try to sleep, but the weight would keep her tossing and turning, caught in a cycle of restlessness and anxiety. Her struggle was a secret war, waged in the silence of her own home. One day, an old, traveling monk passed through the village. He sat under the large willow tree in the center of town, and the villagers, including Kiko, brought him tea and rice. He had eyes that seemed to see not just the surface of things, but the truth beneath. Kiko, maintaining her strong composure, bowed to the monk and offered him a cup of tea. He looked at her, not at her face, but at the space around her shoulders, and he said, "That is a very heavy cloak you are wearing." Kiko was startled. She looked down at her simple clothes. "I am not wearing a cloak, master," she said, confused. The monk smiled gently. "Oh, but you are," he replied. "It is woven from all the tears you have refused to cry, all the sighs you have held in your breath, and all the words of sorrow you have never spoken. It is a cloak of unfelt feelings, and it must be very heavy indeed." In that moment, Kiko's pillar of strength trembled. For the first time, someone had seen not her strength, but her burden. He didn't tell her to take it off. He didn't tell her she was wrong to wear it. He simply acknowledged its existence. That night, back in her home, Kiko did not fight the weight. For the first time, she gave it her attention. She sat on her mat, closed her eyes, and instead of pushing the feeling away, she invited it closer. "Ah," she whispered to the darkness, "here you are, my heavy cloak." She began to feel its texture. The rough patches of anger, the damp spots of unshed tears, the cold, heavy fabric of deep-seated grief. She explored its weight, not with fear, but with a gentle, courageous curiosity. And a strange thing happened. The moment she stopped fighting it, the moment she truly acknowledged its presence, the weight did not disappear, but it changed. It was no longer a crushing, anonymous force. It became something she could hold, something she could know. It was still heavy, but it was no longer terrifying. You, like Kiko, are wearing a cloak woven from your own experiences. This part of our letting go guided meditation is not about throwing off the cloak. It is simply about acknowledging it is there. So turn your awareness inward again. Feel the emotional tension in your body. Where is your cloak the heaviest? Gently place your awareness on that spot. If it is a knot in your stomach, let your mind rest there like a warm hand. You don't need to knead the knot or try to untie it. Just be with it. Acknowledge it. Ah, here is the knot of worry. If it is a tightness in your chest, breathe into that space. Not to force it open, but to let the tightness know it is seen. I feel you, tightness. I know you are here. This is an act of profound self-compassion. It is the foundation of emotional healing, a key aspect of Buddhist psychology that is so helpful to calm anxiety at night. The resistance to a feeling is often more painful than the feeling itself. The fighting, the bracing, the tensing against it, that is what exhausts us. Tonight, we stop fighting. We practice the art of gentle honesty. Everything is okay, even the parts that don't feel okay. Let's return to the image of the bag you are carrying by the moonlit lake. Now, gently set the bag down on the soft sand beside you. Don't open it yet. just set it down. Feel the immediate relief in your shoulder, your back, your arm. That small space of relief is what we are cultivating now. By acknowledging the weight, you have already created a little distance between you and the burden. You are not the weight. You are the one who has been carrying it. And you are the one who can choose to set it down. This is a crucial distinction. You are not your anxiety. You are the awareness that notices anxiety. You are not your sadness. You are the quiet space that holds sadness. This understanding is a form of liberation. It is a central teaching in many paths, including Zen Buddhism. It is the beginning of true inner peace. As you lie here, continue to be with any physical or emotional sensations that arise. If a wave of sadness comes, let it come. If a jolt of anxiety appears, notice it. Meet it with the same gentle acknowledgement the monk offered Kiko. Ah, there you are. Imagine these feelings are like travelers arriving at the door of your guest house. The poet Rumi wrote about this. Welcome them all in. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Tonight, your heart is a guest house. You are the host. You don't have to love the guests. You don't have to let them stay forever. You just have to open the door, acknowledge their presence, and offer them a moment of your undivided, non-judgmental attention. This practice cultivates a peaceful mind, not by eliminating all negative thoughts, but by changing your relationship to them. You stop being a victim of your feelings and become a compassionate witness to them. This is a profound shift. This is healing from within. So breathe. Breathe into the heavy places. Breathe into the tight places. Breathe into the aching places. With each breath, you are not trying to fix anything. You are simply saying, I am here with you. I see you. I feel you. This gentle, honest awareness is the medicine. It is the light that begins to soften the hard edges of our pain. It is the first step toward true, deep, restful sleep. A sleep that isn't just an escape, but a deep, healing release. We are just acknowledging the weight. We are feeling its presence with courage and with kindness. we are setting it down beside us on the shore of the still lake. The moon above is calm and bright. The water is a perfect mirror, and for the first time in a long time, you can feel the space where the burden used to be. Rest in that space for a moment. The space of acknowledgement, the space of gentle honesty. Recognizing the heaviness, we begin to give it a name without fear, without judgment. Naming brings light. Recognizing the heaviness, we begin to give it a name without fear, without judgment. Naming brings light. We have journeyed from the stillness of the night into a gentle, honest acknowledgement of the weight we carry. We have set the heavy bag down on the moonlit shore. Now, guided by the timeless wisdom of Buddhist mindfulness, we take the next step in this deep sleep meditation. We are going to open the bag, not with force or with fear, but with a quiet curiosity. We are going to look inside and gently name what we find. This is the core principle of this section: non-judgmental mindfulness, the practice of compassionate witnessing. In many Buddhist traditions, this is called noting or naming. It is a simple, yet profoundly powerful technique to calm anxiety at night and achieve mental relaxation. When an emotion is a vague, heavy, unnamed cloud, it feels immense and overwhelming. It can feel like it is us. I am anxious. I am sad. But when we can look at it clearly and give it a simple, gentle label, something magical happens. We create space. The feeling is no longer me. It becomes something I am experiencing. The label acts like a handle on a hot pan. It allows us to hold the experience without being burned by it. So let us begin this gentle art. In your mind's eye, kneel on the soft sand beside the bag you have set down. The moonlight is bright enough to see by. There is no one else around. This is your private, sacred space for emotional release. Slowly, you untie the drawstring of the bag. You peer inside. It's not a chaotic mess. Instead, you see several smooth, dark stones. Each stone represents a feeling, a worry, a piece of negativity you have been carrying. Let's explore this with a story, a Zen parable about a gardener and his unusual garden. There was a man named Ren who tended a magnificent garden. By day, it was a paradise of vibrant flowers and lush greenery. But Ren had a secret section of his garden, tucked away behind a bamboo fence, that he only visited at dusk. This was his shadow garden. In this garden, he did not grow flowers. He cultivated the things others would call weeds. There was the thorny vine of anger, the drooping thistle of sadness, the creeping moss of envy, and the pale, night-blooming flower of fear. The other villagers thought he was strange. "Why do you waste your time on such ugly things?" they would ask. "You should uproot them, burn them." Ren would simply smile and say, "They are also part of the garden. To ignore them is to let them grow wild and choke everything else. By giving them their own space and my gentle attention, they teach me their nature." Every evening, Ren would walk into his shadow garden. He would not pull the weeds or curse them. He would kneel beside each one and simply name it. He would touch a leaf on the thorny vine and whisper, "Ah, anger, I see you today. Your thorns are sharp." He would look at the drooping thistle and say softly, "Hello, sadness. You are heavy today. Your head is bowed low." He would observe the pale flower of fear, which only opened in the twilight, and say, "I see you, fear. You are afraid of the coming darkness. It's okay. The moon will be your light." He did this without judgment. He did not say, "You are a bad weed." He did not say, "You should not be here." He simply named what he saw. He was a compassionate witness. And over time, a miraculous thing happened in Ren's shadow garden. The thorny vine of anger, having been seen and named, began to grow less wild. It still had thorns, but it no longer tried to choke the other plants. The thistle of sadness, having its grief acknowledged, began to stand a little taller. And one day, it produced a single, surprisingly beautiful purple flower. The flower of fear, having been met not with more fear, but with gentle acceptance, began to stay open a little longer each night, as if learning to trust the darkness. Ren understood a profound piece of Buddhist psychology. What we resist persists. But what we can name, with gentle, non-judgmental awareness, we can begin to integrate and transform. It becomes part of a larger, more complete garden. Now it is your turn to be the gardener of your own inner world. Let us return to the bag of stones by the moonlit lake. Reach in and take out the first stone. Feel its weight in your hand. Notice its texture. Is it rough or smooth? Is it cold, or does it hold some warmth? Now give it a name. Perhaps this stone is anxiety about the future. Hold it in your hand and say to it in your mind, with the same gentleness as Ren, "Ah, I see you, anxiety. You feel heavy and rough. I am holding you now." There is no judgment. You are not saying it's bad to have this stone. You are simply naming what is. Let a feeling of calmness begin to surround this act. This is a letting go guided meditation in its purest form. Now, gently place that stone on the sand beside you. Reach into the bag again. What is the next stone? Perhaps this one is regret about something I said. Hold it. Feel its sharp edges. Name it without judgment. I see you, regret. You have a sharp edge that pokes my palm. I am with you in this moment. Place it gently on the sand. The act of naming separates you from the feeling. The regret is the stone. You are the one holding the stone. You are not the stone itself. This simple practice is a powerful tool for emotional healing. It brings the light of awareness into the dark corners of our experience. Continue this process. Reach into the bag again and again. Name each stone you find. Loneliness, frustration, self-doubt, grief, exhaustion. Use simple, one-word labels. Keep your tone gentle, curious, and kind. This is the heart of Buddhist mindfulness. No judgment, just a quiet, compassionate naming. You might notice that as you name a stone, its power over you lessens. The vague, heavy weight in your body starts to differentiate into distinct sensations that are more manageable. The monster in the dark is only scary until you turn on the light and see that it's just a pile of old clothes. Naming is turning on the light. This is one of the most effective Zen stories for deep sleep. The story of your own inner landscape being tended to with care. As you lay out the stones on the sand, you are creating your own shadow garden. You are not trying to get rid of them. You are arranging them, looking at them, understanding their nature. Everything is okay. It's okay to have these stones. Everyone has them. The goal is not to have an empty bag. The goal is to know what is in your bag and to carry it with awareness and choice, not as an unconscious burden. Now imagine that the moonlight shining down on the stones is a soft, healing light. See it bathing each stone you have named. The stone of anxiety, the stone of sadness, the stone of fear. The light doesn't destroy them. It illuminates them. It softens their edges. It reveals a hidden beauty in their texture, their color. This light is your compassionate awareness. It is the kindest part of you, looking upon the most troubled parts of you, not with a desire to fix, but with a simple, profound acceptance. This is what it means to heal from within. It's not about becoming a perfect, flawless person with no negative emotions. It is about becoming a whole person, someone who can be with all parts of their experience with kindness and wisdom. This is a form of prayer, a Buddhist prayer of presence. A prayer that says, "Let me be with what is." Let this story, the story of Ren and his garden, become your dream. See yourself as this wise gardener. Your heart is the garden. Your feelings are the plants, both the flowers and the weeds. Your job is not to judge, but simply to tend, to name, to witness. Breathe deeply now. With each inhale, breathe in the courage to look at your stones. With each exhale, release the judgment you might have about them. Inhale acceptance. Exhale the need to be perfect. You have named the weight. You have brought light to the heaviness. The stones are now lying on the sand, out in the open, held in the vast, peaceful container of the night. You can feel a sense of clarity, a sense of relief. The overwhelming burden has been transformed into a collection of specific, manageable feelings. This is the inner peace that comes from clarity. Rest in this clarity for a few moments. You have done a courageous thing. You have looked into your own heart with honesty and kindness. This is the path of the Bodhisattva, the path of the spiritual warrior. It is not a path of fighting, but a path of brave, gentle acceptance. With clarity, we invite stories that echo our own quiet struggles, parables that open the heart gently. With clarity, we invite stories that echo our own quiet quiet struggles, parables that open the heart gently. We have moved through the stillness of night, acknowledged the weight of our burdens, and with gentle, non-judgmental awareness, we have named the stones of our suffering. They are no longer a terrifying, anonymous mass in a dark bag, but are laid out before us, illuminated by the soft light of our own compassion. Now, in this state of clarity, we are ready for the next stage of our journey toward deep sleep and emotional release. We are ready for the stories. The core principle of this section is release through surrender and healing through symbolic storytelling. The human mind learns and heals through narrative. A good story, especially the kind found in Zen Buddhist teachings, can bypass the analytical mind and speak directly to the heart. It provides a mirror for our own struggles, and most importantly, a map toward release. These soothing spiritual stories are not just entertainment, they are medicine. They are parables designed to open the heart when it has been closed by pain. Let this story become your dream tonight. Let it be a vessel for your own letting go. Imagine you are sitting now by a small, warm fire on the beach near the moonlit lake. The stones you named are still there on the sand, but your attention is now on the flickering flames. The fire crackles and pops, a comforting, living presence in the vast quiet. And in the dancing light of the fire, a story begins to unfold in your mind. One of the most famous Zen stories for deep sleep and letting go. It is the story of two monks, a senior monk named Tanzen and a junior monk named Aikido, who were traveling together on a pilgrimage. They walked for many miles on a muddy road, their robes damp from a recent rain. As they came around a bend, they saw a young woman in a beautiful silk kimono, standing by a large, swirling puddle. She was clearly distressed, unable to cross the muddy expanse without soiling her fine clothes. The junior monk, Aikido, was a very devout and serious practitioner. He rigorously followed the monastic precepts, one of which was to never touch a woman or even look upon one for too long, lest it stir impure thoughts and distract from the path to enlightenment. Seeing the woman, Aikido averted his eyes, tightened his jaw, and walked past her, pretending not to notice her plight. He was proud of his discipline, his ability to uphold the rules. His teacher, The senior monk Tanzen, however, did something extraordinary. He walked right up to the young woman, a warm and compassionate smile on his face. Without a word, he bent down, scooped her up into his arms, and carried her across the wide, muddy patch of road, setting her down gently on the other side. The woman, shocked and grateful, bowed deeply. Tanzen simply bowed in return and then continued on his way, his steps light and unburdened. Aikido was speechless. He was scandalized. He hurried to catch up with his teacher, his mind a whirlwind of judgment and confusion. How could he do that? Aikido thought to himself. He broke the rules. He, a senior monk, touched a woman. He held her in his arms. What a terrible example. What impurity. For the rest of the afternoon, Aikido walked in seething silence behind his teacher. But he wasn't really silent inside. His mind was a noisy, crowded marketplace of angry thoughts. With every step, he replayed the scene in his head. He saw Tanzen's hands on the woman. He imagined the feel of her silk kimono. He composed lectures he would give his teacher on piety and discipline. He was carrying the woman in his mind, and she was getting heavier with every mile. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the path. They walked for hours, hour after hour of Aikido's inner turmoil. The weight of his judgment was becoming unbearable. It was a physical ache in his chest, a tension in his neck and shoulders. He felt more burdened and impure than if he had carried the woman himself. Finally, as they approached the temple where they were to spend the night, Aikido could stand it no longer. He burst out, his voice tight with accumulated frustration. "Master, I have a question." Tanzen turned, his face calm and serene in the twilight. "Yes." "We monks are not supposed to go near females," Aikido said, his voice trembling with indignation. "Especially young and lovely ones. It is dangerous. Why did you do that? Why did you carry that woman across the road?" Tanzen looked at his student, his eyes full of a deep, gentle compassion. He smiled softly and said, "I left the girl there by the side of the road hours ago. Are you still carrying her?" Let those words sink deep into your being. I left the girl there. Are you still carrying her? simple question, the entire structure of Aikido's suffering collapsed. He realized in a flash of stunning clarity that his master, Tanzen, had carried the woman's physical body for a few moments as an act of simple, unattached compassion. But he, Aikido, had been carrying the idea of the woman, the judgment of the act, the anger, the rules, the resentment. He had been carrying all of it in his mind for hours and miles. Tanzen's heart was open and free. He saw a person in need, and he helped. The act was pure, done, and forgotten. Aikido's heart was closed and rigid. He saw a rule being broken, and he judged. The act became a heavy stone that he chose to pick up and carry. This is the core of this Buddhist teaching on letting go. The events of our lives are like the woman by the road. They happen. A difficult conversation, a mistake at work, an unkind word from a stranger, a moment of disappointment. These things happen, and then they are over. Like Tanzen carrying the woman, they are brief moments in time. The suffering comes not from the event itself, but from our refusal to put it down. We pick it up in our minds. We replay it. We analyze it. We judge it. We wish it were different. We carry the memory of the woman for hours, for days, for years. Now look again at the stones you laid out on the sand. The stone of anxiety, the stone of regret, the stone of anger. Each one of those stones is a woman you are still carrying. The original event is long gone. The conversation is over. The mistake has been made. All that remains is your mental grip on it. This story is an invitation. It is a key. It is permission to put it all down. The story has opened the heart. It has shown you the possibility of release. The choice is simple, but not always easy. Will you be Aikido, clinging to your judgments and your burdens, suffering under their weight? Or will you be Tanzen, who acts from a place of simple compassion and then lets the moment go completely, walking on with a light heart and a peaceful mind? This is the essence of emotional healing. It is the understanding that you have a choice. You can continue to carry the past, or you can choose to set it down, right here, right now. Let's make this practical. Bring to mind one specific thing from your day. or you're weak that has been weighing on you. One of those stones. See the scene in your mind. Hear the words. Feel the emotion that comes with it. Now see yourself as Tanzin. See that the event is over. It is on the other side of the road. You have already crossed. And now you can simply turn and walk away, leaving it there. It does not need to be fixed. It does not need to be understood any further. It only needs to be released. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, imagine yourself leaving that woman, that memory, that burden, there by the side of the road. Let it go. Feel the lightness in your steps as you walk away. Feel the peace in your mind as you let it fade into the distance. This is not about forgetting. It is about freeing yourself from the prison of reliving. This is the gift of these Buddhist bedtime stories. They give us a new way to see our own lives, a new path to walk. Let the fire on the beach warm you. Let the sound of the crackling wood soothe you. The story has done its work. It has planted a seed of possibility in your heart. The possibility of living like Tanzin. The possibility of a mind that is free, open, and at peace. The stories begin to stir something deeper. With each breath, we soften into the discomfort, not to escape it, but to witness its transformation. The stories begin to stir something deeper. With each breath, we soften into the discomfort, not to escape it, but to witness its transformation. We have heard the story of Tanzin and Aikido, a powerful parable of letting go. This story may have illuminated the burdens you carry, showing you that it is not the events of life, but our mental clinging to them that causes our suffering. Yet, even with this profound insight, the act of letting go is not always a simple decision. Sometimes, when we try to release a painful emotion or memory, we are met with resistance. The body remains tense. The mind continues to circle back. The pain feels stuck, like a deep and stubborn knot. This is a natural and human experience. And so, this next part of our deep sleep meditation is dedicated to working with that very resistance. The core principles here are breathwork as emotional transmutation and patience with inner resistance. We will not fight the resistance. We will not try to break through it. Instead, we will learn to breathe into it, to soften it, to surround it with such gentle, patient attention that it begins to loosen on its own accord. This is a key teaching of Zen Buddhism. The softest thing in the world, water, can overcome the hardest thing, rock, not through force, but through persistence and gentleness. Your breath will be like water tonight. Your resistance will be like rock, and we will witness the gentle, transformative power of your own life force. Let us explore this with another story, a quiet parable about a master weaver and a tangled thread. In a small village, there lived an old woman named Anya, who was known for weaving the most beautiful tapestries in the land. Her cloths were famous not only for their intricate designs and vibrant colors, but for a certain feeling they imparted, a feeling of profound peace and harmony. People said that to wrap oneself in one of Anya's weavings was to feel all the knots of the heart begin to loosen. One day, a young, impatient apprentice came to study with her. The apprentice was skilled and quick, but whenever he encountered a knot or a tangle in the threads of the loom, he would become frustrated. He would pull at it, yank it, and try to force it straight. More often than not, this would only tighten the knot, making it smaller, harder, and more stubborn. In his frustration, he would often break the thread, and then have to spend a great deal of time retying it, leaving an ugly, clumsy lump in the fabric. One afternoon, struggling with a particularly complex tangle of silk threads, the apprentice cried out in anger, "This is impossible. This thread is ruined." He was about to take his knife and cut the entire section out. Anya, who had been weaving silently at her own loom nearby, came over to him. She did not scold him. She simply placed a gentle hand on his shoulder and said, "Be patient. The knot is not your enemy. It is simply a part of the thread's journey. Let us breathe with it." The apprentice was confused. Breathe with it. It's a knot, not a person. Anya smiled her knowing, peaceful smile. "Everything is alive with energy," she said. "The knot holds tension. When you meet that tension with more tension, you create a battle. Let us meet it with breath instead." She sat down beside him and looked closely at the tangled mess. "First," she said, "stop pulling. Let go of the thread completely. Just look at the knot. See its shape. See how the threads cross and loop around each other. Do not judge it as bad. Simply observe it." Then she said, "Now, take a slow, deep breath. And as you breathe out, imagine your breath is a warm, gentle breeze flowing directly into the knot. Imagine it softening the fibers, creating a tiny bit of space inside the tightness. The apprentice, though skeptical, did as she instructed. He took a slow breath in, and as he exhaled, he directed his full attention, his full intention of softness into the tangled threads. He did this again and again. He let go of his frustration and his hurry and focused only on the feeling of his warm breath flowing into the knot. After several breaths, Anya said softly, "Now, very gently, take just one of the threads. Don't pull, just wiggle it a little. See if it has a little more room to move." The apprentice touched one of the threads, and to his astonishment, it slid a tiny fraction. It was a minuscule movement, but it was a change. "Good," Anya whispered. "Now breathe again. Send more softness, more patience." They sat there for a long time, the master and the apprentice, not fighting the knot, but befriending it. They breathed. They gently explored. With infinite patience, Anya showed him how to follow the path of a single thread through the maze, loosening it bit by bit, not by force, but by gentle, persistent attention. Finally, after what seemed like an hour, the last loop of the knot gave way, and the threads fell straight and free. The apprentice stared in awe. The thread was not broken. It was whole. Anya then took the threads, now untangled, and wove them into the tapestry. The place where the knot had been created a unique, beautiful, and unexpectedly intricate pattern in the final cloth. A pattern of resilience and release. "You see," Anya said, "the knot was not a mistake. It was the potential for a new kind of beauty." This Zen story is a perfect metaphor for the knots of pain and resistance within us. Your emotional pain, that stubborn ache in your chest, that deep-seated fear, that old grief, is a knot in the thread of your being. Your first instinct, like the apprentice, may be to fight it, to pull at it, to wish it away, to cut it out of you. But this path, as this Buddhist teaching shows, only creates more tension and breakage. Tonight, we will practice Anya's way. We will practice this healing from within. Bring your awareness to a place in your body where you feel resistance or pain. might be the same place you identified earlier, or it might be something new. Find that knot of physical or emotional discomfort. Now let go of the struggle. Stop pulling. Stop fighting. Just as Anya instructed, simply observe the knot. Notice its shape, its intensity, its quality, without judgment. Now we will begin the breath work, the heart of this letting go guided meditation. Take a slow, gentle breath in, and as you breathe out, imagine your exhale is a warm, soft, healing energy. Direct this warm breath right into the center of the knot. Don't try to blow it away. Imagine you are filling it with softness, with space, with warmth. Breathe in again, drawing in calm, patience, and peace. Breathe out, sending that calm, patient, peaceful energy directly into the resistance. Let your breath be the soothing hands of the Master Weaver, gently working with attention. Continue this for several cycles. In and out, sending softness to the tight place. In and out, surrounding the pain with gentle, loving awareness. This is an act of profound kindness to yourself. You are not trying to get rid of a part of you. You are bringing healing to a part of you that is hurting. Now, as you continue to breathe into the knot, you might notice a subtle shift. The pain might not disappear, but its quality might change. The hard, solid rock of resistance might begin to feel a little more porous, a little more like sand. The sharp edges of the pain might begin to soften. It might transform. It might move. It might tingle. Whatever happens, just continue to breathe and observe. There is no goal here other than to be present with the process. Patience is the key. The knot did not form in an instant, and it may not dissolve in an instant. But with each conscious, gentle breath, you are untying it fiber by fiber. You are transforming the energy that was trapped in the knot. The energy of resistance is being transmuted into the energy of release. The energy of pain is being transformed into the energy of flow. Just as the knot in Anya's weaving became a beautiful pattern, perhaps this place of pain within you, when met with this much love and attention, can become a source of strength, resilience, and a deeper beauty in the tapestry of your life. This is the essence of transformation. It happens not through battle, but through surrender, not through force, but through breath. So let go of any agenda. Let go of the need for the pain to be gone now. Simply trust the process. Trust your breath. Trust the wisdom of your body to heal when given the right conditions. The right condition is your gentle, patient, loving attention. Keep breathing, softening, allowing. The world slows down for you now. There is nothing else to do but this. Breathe with the knot. Be the master weaver of your own inner world. From breath comes tenderness. Our pain becomes the soil where compassion begins to grow, first inward, then outward. From breath comes tenderness. Our pain becomes the soil where compassion begins to grow, first inward, then outward. We have journeyed deep into the heart of our own resistance, not with force, but with the gentle, persistent power of the breath. Like the master weaver Anya, we have learned to sit with the knots of our pain, breathing softness into them, allowing them to loosen in their own time. Through this process, a new feeling begins to emerge, a profound tenderness toward ourselves. This tenderness is the fertile ground for one of the most beautiful and powerful concepts in Buddhist teachings, the transformation of suffering into compassion. This is the core principle of this section of our deep sleep meditation. Bodhicitta, the awakened heart, which is compassion born directly from the experience of suffering. It is the radical and beautiful idea that our deepest wounds can become our greatest gifts, not only to ourselves, but to the world. This is not about seeking pain, but about understanding that the pain that inevitably finds us can be alchemized. It can be turned from lead into gold. To explore this profound transformation, let us turn to one of nature's most powerful symbols, a story beloved in Zen Buddhism and beyond, the story of the lotus flower. Imagine in your mind's eye a murky, muddy pond. The water is dark and stagnant. At the bottom of this pond, there is thick, rich, dark mud. This mud is made of decay, of fallen leaves, of organisms that have lived and died, of the silt and sediment of time. By all appearances, it is an unpleasant place. It is dark, messy, and seemingly without life. This mud represents our suffering. It is our pain, our grief, our confusion, our fear. It is the messy, difficult, uncomfortable stuff of life that we often try to avoid or clean up. It is the shadow garden of Ren, the tangled threads of Anya, the heavy stones from our bag. But hidden within this mud, a tiny seed begins to stir. A lotus seed. This seed does not fight the mud. It does not curse its dark and messy surroundings. Instead, it does something miraculous. It uses the mud as food. The very decay and darkness that make up the mud become the nutrients. The rich, fertile soil that nourishes the seed and gives it the strength to grow. Slowly, patiently, a slender green stalk begins to push its way up from the seed. It travels on a long, determined journey, up, up, up through the murky, dark water. It doesn't rush. It doesn't complain about the lack of light. It simply follows its own inner imperative, its own deep knowing that it is growing toward the sun. This stalk is your own journey through healing. It is the path you are on right now, moving through the difficulties of your own inner world, reaching for the light of awareness and peace. Finally, the stalk breaks the surface of the water. It emerges from the murky depths into the open air and the bright sunlight. And at the tip of this stalk, a tightly closed bud has formed. Then, petal by petal, the lotus flower begins to open. And what is revealed is a thing of breathtaking beauty and purity. A perfect, pristine flower with dozens of soft, immaculate petals. It rests on the surface of the murky water, but not a single drop of mud or dirty water clings to it. It is unstained, radiant, and whole. And here is the profound teaching of the lotus. The beautiful flower does not exist in spite of the mud. It exists because of the mud. Without the dark, rich, messy, suffering-filled mud, there would be no nutrients, no strength, no journey, and no glorious flower. The suffering was not an obstacle to its beauty. It was the very source of it. This is Bodhisattva. This is the process of transforming the mud of your own suffering into the lotus of compassion. Let us apply this powerful spiritual story to your own life. Think again of the pain or resistance you were breathing into in the last section. That knot, that ache, that difficult emotion, that is your mud. The ordinary thinking is to hate the mud, to wish it was gone, to see it as a flaw, a problem, a sign that something is wrong with you or your life. But the path of Buddhist psychology, the path of the lotus, invites a radical shift in perspective. Can you, just for a moment, entertain the possibility that this very suffering holds the nutrients for your own growth? Can you see that the experience of anxiety, for example, can become the seed for a profound and deep-seated calm? Because you know the torment of anxiety so intimately, the peace you eventually find will be that much more precious and real. Can you see that the experience of heartbreak and grief can become the soil for a boundless and authentic compassion? Because you have known deep loss, your heart can open to the pain of others with a genuine empathy that someone who has never suffered cannot possibly understand. This is the meaning of a broken open heart. The cracks are where the light gets in, and it's also where the compassion flows out. Your pain makes you human, and your compassionate relationship with your pain makes you a healer, first for yourself, and then, simply by your presence, for others. This is not a quick fix. This is the work of a lifetime, but it begins tonight in this deep sleep meditation with a simple shift in intention. Let your breath continue to be soft and gentle. But now, as you breathe into your knot of pain, add a new layer of intention. As you breathe in, acknowledge the pain. I feel this suffering. This is the mud. As you breathe out, offer a gentle wish. May this suffering be the source of compassion. May this mud nourish the lotus of my heart. Breathe in. This is my anxiety, my fear. Breathe out. May this feeling teach me the true meaning of peace. May it soften my heart toward all who are afraid. Breathe in. This is my sadness, my grief. Breathe out. May this ache open my heart to all who are grieving. May my own tears water the seed of compassion. This is a practice called Tonglen in some Buddhist traditions, a powerful method for emotional healing. You are not pushing the pain away. You are breathing it in, acknowledging it, owning it as part of the human experience. And you are breathing out a wish for healing and peace, first for yourself, and then extending it to all beings who feel the same pain. just as I am feeling this, may all beings feeling this be free from this suffering. May we all find peace. Something remarkable happens when you do this. Your personal, isolated pain begins to connect you to the universal web of life. Your suffering is no longer just your problem. It becomes a doorway to empathy, a bridge to the hearts of others. The tight, self-focused knot of personal misery begins to dissolve into a vast, open field of shared human experience. This is the ultimate letting go. Letting go of the idea that your pain makes you separate and alone, and embracing the truth that your pain, when met with compassion, makes you deeply and beautifully connected to everyone. You are the lotus flower. Your life, with all its messiness and its challenges, is the pond. Your willingness to be with your own pain, to breathe with it, to transform it, that is the sacred alchemy that turns mud into blossoms. Rest now in this understanding. There is no part of you that needs to be thrown away. Everything is workable. Everything is the stuff of awakening. Your pain is not a mistake. It is the sacred soil for the most beautiful parts of you to grow. Let this gentle, compassionate feeling soothe you into a state of deep inner peace, preparing you for the most profound rest. As compassion deepens, we arrive at emptiness, not as void, but as open sky, vast enough to hold everything. As compassion deepens, we arrive at emptiness, not as void, but as open sky, vast enough to hold everything. We have journeyed through the transformative power of compassion, learning to see our suffering not as an obstacle, but as the very soil from which the lotus of an open heart can grow. As this compassionate awareness softens our resistance and connects us to all of life, we naturally arrive at one of the most profound and often misunderstood teachings of Buddhism. We arrive at the concept of emptiness, or sunyata. The core principle for this section is to understand sunyata not as a terrifying void or nothingness, but as a vast, open, and healing spaciousness that is the very container for all of life. This is a subtle and deep teaching, but feeling into it can bring about the ultimate emotional release and pave the way for the deepest, most restful sleep. It is the final letting go of the need for things to be solid, permanent, or fixed. Imagine Imagine you are no longer on the shore of the lake or in a garden. Imagine you have become the night sky itself. You are not a body lying on a bed. You are not a mind filled with thoughts. You are the vast, silent, infinite expanse of the night. Within you, the moon hangs like a silent lantern. Within you, a billion stars glitter like scattered diamonds. Within you, there is space, so much space. Now, watch as clouds begin to drift across the sky. That is you. These clouds are your thoughts, your feelings, your sensations, your memories. A dark, heavy storm cloud of anger drifts by. A light, wispy cloud of a fleeting memory appears. A thick, gray bank of fog, representing sadness or confusion, rolls in. As the sky, you do not have to do anything about these clouds. You do not grab onto the beautiful, fluffy white clouds, trying to make them stay forever. You do not push away the dark, threatening storm clouds, trying to get rid of them. You simply allow them to be. You provide the space for them to arise, to exist for a time, and to pass away. The storm cloud may rage with lightning and thunder, but does it harm the sky? No, the sky is untouched. The storm happens within the sky, but it is not the sky itself. The fog may be so thick that you can't see the stars or the moon, but are the stars and moon gone? No, they are still there, shining brightly, just temporarily obscured. The sky remains vast and unchanged. This is Sunyata. This is the teaching of emptiness. You are the sky. Your thoughts, feelings, and life experiences are the clouds. The suffering comes when we forget we are the sky and believe we are the cloud. We identify with the storm. I am angry. We identify with the fog. I am confused and lost. This deep sleep meditation invites you to shift your identity back to its true nature. The vast, open, accommodating sky of awareness. Let's explore this with a Zen parable, the story of the empty cup. A university professor, a man famous for his intellect and his vast knowledge, came to visit a wise old Zen master. He wanted to learn about Zen, but he came to the master's hut with his mind already full. As the master served him tea, the professor began to talk. He talked about all the books he had read on philosophy and religion. He explained his own complex theories about the nature of reality. He talked and talked, boasting of his learning, not even pausing to listen. The master listened patiently, and all the while, he continued to pour tea into the professor's cup. He poured until the cup was full, and then he kept pouring. The hot tea overflowed, spilling onto the saucer, and then onto the table. The professor, startled out of his monologue, cried out, "Stop! The cup is full. You can't put any more in." The Zen master stopped pouring, looked at the professor with a calm, clear gaze, and said, "Like this cup, you are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" This story is a beautiful illustration of emptiness. The professor's mind was not empty. It was cluttered and full. There was no space for anything new to enter. No space for true wisdom, which can only arise in a mind that is open and receptive. Letting go of negativity is not about replacing bad thoughts with good thoughts. That is just refilling the cup with a different kind of tea. True letting go, the profound release that Buddhist teachings point to, is about emptying the cup altogether. It is about resting in the state of not knowing, the open, spacious awareness that exists before all our concepts, labels, and judgments. This emptiness is not a void. The empty cup is not useless. It is full of potential. It is ready to receive. The empty sky is not nothing. It is the space that allows everything to happen. So how do we experience this? We do it by letting go of our tight grip on identity. Lie here and feel into the space that holds you. Feel the space in the room around your body. Feel the space between your body and the ceiling. Now feel the space inside your body. Scientists tell us that atoms are over 9% empty space. Your body, which feels so solid, is mostly emptiness. Feel into that. Feel the space between the cells, the space within the molecules. Let go of the concept of solid body and feel into the reality of vibrating field of spacious energy. Now bring your awareness to your mind. Notice a thought. notice the space, the silence that comes just after that thought, before the next one begins. That is the emptiness. That is the sky. Rest your attention in that gap. The gaps between thoughts are your doorways into this profound peace. In this spaciousness, everything is okay. The pain you felt earlier, it can arise in this space. The joy you might feel, it can arise in this space. The fear, the love, the memories, they are all welcome here, because the space is so vast, so infinite, that it can hold everything without being disturbed. This is the ultimate container for your emotional healing. You no longer need to manage your feelings, or fix them, or transform them. You can simply let them be what they are, like clouds in the sky, knowing that your true nature, this vast, open, empty awareness, is untouched and forever at peace. This is a letting go guided meditation that takes you to the very root of letting go. Letting go of the belief that you are a small, solid, separate self who is troubled by problems. And awakening to the truth that you are the vast, open space in which the entire universe is unfolding. Nothing to fix, nothing to chase. Let this feeling of spaciousness dissolve all your remaining tension. Feel your body becoming light and transparent. Feel the boundaries between you and the room begin to blur. Feel yourself merging with the quiet, peaceful darkness around you. You are not a drop of water in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. This is the inner peace that surpasses all understanding. It is the result of emptying your cup, of becoming the sky. Let the hypnotic phrases guide you deeper into this state. Imagine yourself floating gently down a quiet river. The river is your awareness, and the banks are the passing thoughts and feelings. You don't need to get out on the bank. Just float. The world slows down for you now. There is only this vast, peaceful emptiness. An emptiness that is not empty at all, but is full of peace, potential, and a quiet, unshakable presence. Rest here, in the sky of your own being, the home you never left. From that vastness, we return to what is simple. Just this breath, just this moment. Nothing more is needed From that vastness, we return to what is simple. Just this breath, just this moment. Nothing more is needed. We have touched the profound Buddhist teaching of sunyata, of emptiness, experiencing ourselves not as a solid, troubled self, but as the vast, open sky of awareness that holds all experience. This can be a lofty and subtle concept. And so, the path of Zen wisdom always brings us back from the mountain peak of abstract understanding to the simple, solid ground of the present moment. The ultimate expression of enlightenment is not found in complex philosophical ideas, but in the ability to be fully present with the simplest of things. Therefore, the core principle of this section is a return to radical simplicity. It is the practice of mindfulness in its most essential form, letting the present moment be enough. After exploring the vastness of the sky, we now return our attention to the feeling of a single breath. This is the full circle of our journey in this deep sleep meditation. Let us ground this idea in a classic Zen story. A young, eager student approached his Zen master, his mind buzzing with questions. "Master," he said, "I have been studying the scriptures. I have been meditating for hours each day, and I have been contemplating the great koans. Please tell me, what is the ultimate truth of Zen? What is the secret to enlightenment?" The master, who was stirring a pot of soup over a fire, did not look up. He continued to stir the soup, slowly and deliberately. The student waited, expecting a profound and mystical answer. After a long silence, the master finally looked at him and asked, "Have you eaten your breakfast rice this morning?" The student, taken aback by the mundane question, replied, "Yes, master, I have." The master nodded and said, "Then go and wash your bowl." And with that, he returned his full attention to stirring the soup. The student was stunned and at first a little insulted. He had asked for the ultimate secret of the universe, and he was told to do his chores. But as he walked toward the washing basin, carrying his empty rice bowl, the master's words began to echo in his mind. "Go and wash your bowl." He looked at the bowl in his hands. He felt its weight, its smooth ceramic surface. He walked to the basin, turned on the water, and began to wash. But this time, he washed it differently, He didn't rush through the task to get back to his important spiritual practice. He made the washing of the bowl his entire practice. He felt the coolness of the water on his hands. He watched the soap bubbles form and pop. He heard the sound of the ceramic being scrubbed clean. He paid attention to the simple, direct, sensory experience of washing the bowl. In that moment of complete, simple presence, a profound realization dawned on him. The ultimate truth was not in a book. It was not in a future state of enlightenment. It was right here, in the water, in the bowl, in his hands. The secret to enlightenment was to do whatever you are doing with your whole being. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. When you wash your bowl, just wash your bowl. And when you are lying here, preparing for sleep, just be here. This is the heart of what it means to find inner peace. It is to stop striving, stop seeking, and to arrive fully in the life that is already here. The mind loves complexity. It loves to create problems so it can have the job of solving them. It will tell you that you need to understand sunyata more deeply, that you need to perfect your compassion practice, that you are not letting go correctly. This is the chattering of the professor with the full cup. The wisdom of Zen says, "Thank you for sharing," and then gently returns its attention to the simple, undeniable reality of this present moment. So let us practice this together now. Let go of all the concepts we have explored tonight, the stories, the principles, the ideas of compassion and emptiness. Let them all dissolve. They were rafts to get you across the river. Now you are on the other shore, and you can leave the raft behind. What remains when you let go of all concepts? Just this, the feeling of your body resting, the gentle sound of your own breathing, the darkness behind your eyelids. Bring your entire awareness to the sensation of your next breath. Just one. Feel the air entering your nostrils. Notice its temperature. Follow the sensation as it travels down into your lungs. Feel the gentle expansion of your chest and belly. Then pause for a moment at the very top of the inhale. And now follow the exhale all the way out. Feel the release the letting go as your body softens. That's it. That was the entire practice. In that one breath, you were completely present. You were washing your bowl. For the next few minutes, this will be your only task. The focus of this simple yet profound Buddhist meditation for beginners. Just this breath. When the mind wanders, as it will, and begins to tell you stories about the past or the future, gently notice it. And with the kindness of the Zen master, guide it back. Not with force, but with a gentle invitation. Come back to the breath. Let this be an anchor in the ocean of your experience. Just this breath. And now this one. And now this one. You may notice a deep sense of peace arising from this simplicity. It is the peace of no longer needing anything to be different. The peace of letting the moment be exactly as it is. Everything is okay. In this moment, with this breath, there are no problems. A problem is a thought about the past or the future. But right here, in the direct sensory experience of breathing, there is only this. Just this. This is the ultimate mental relaxation. It is the release from the tyranny of the thinking mind. You are not trying to achieve a state of deep sleep. You are not trying to heal your emotions. You are not trying to become enlightened. You are simply breathing. And in that simplicity, everything else is taken care of. Sleep will come when it comes. Healing will happen as it happens. Peace is already here, in the space between your thoughts, in the feeling of your breath. Let the mantra for this part of your journey be simple. As you breathe in, you can say to yourself, just this. As you breathe out, you can say moment. Inhale just this. Exhale moment. Let this simple rhythm guide you deeper and deeper into stillness, deeper and deeper into peace. This is the timeless wisdom that all the complex Zen stories and Buddhist teachings point back to. The kingdom of heaven is right here. Nirvana is in this breath. There is nowhere to go and nothing to attain. You have already arrived. Welcome home. Rest in this simplicity. Rest in the profound peace of just being here. No effort struggle, just this breath. We let go of fixing, healing, or becoming. In the present, everything is already okay, even the not okay parts. We let go of fixing, healing, or becoming. In the present, everything is already okay, even the not okay parts. We have come full circle, returning from the vastness of emptiness to the profound simplicity of a single breath. We have washed our bowl, and in this space of simple presence, we arrive at the doorway to the deepest state of surrender, a place of radical trust. This brings us to the penultimate stage of our journey into restful sleep, a principle that ties everything together. Radical acceptance and trust in the natural unfolding of things. This is the ultimate letting go, the release of the idea that you are a project that needs to be improved, or a problem that needs to be solved. For a little while, we will suspend the belief that anything at all needs to be fixed. Not your mind, not your body, not your life, not your past. This is perhaps the most challenging and liberating of all Buddhist teachings for the modern mind, which is so conditioned to strive, improve, and control. Let's explore this through a final Zen parable, the story of the cracked pot. There was an old woman in a small village who had 2 large clay pots. Each day, she would hang them on either end of a long pole that she carried across her shoulders, and she would walk the long path to the stream to fetch water. One of the pots was perfect. It was flawless and always held a full measure of water on the long walk back to her house. The other pot, however, had a crack in it. By the time the old woman returned home, the cracked pot would have leaked half of its water and be only half full. For 2 full years, this went on daily. The old woman would arrive home with 1.5 pots of water. The perfect pot was very proud of its accomplishments. It felt superior, knowing it fulfilled its purpose perfectly. But the poor cracked pot was deeply ashamed of its imperfection. It was miserable that it could only do half of what it was made for. It saw itself as a failure. After 2 years of what it perceived as bitter failure, the cracked pot could bear it no longer. One day, as the old woman was about to fill it at the stream, it spoke to her. "I am so ashamed of myself," it cried. "Because of this crack in my side, water leaks out all the way back to your house. Because of my flaw, you do all of this work, and you don't get the full value of your efforts. The old woman smiled kindly at the pot. Her smile was full of a deep, gentle wisdom. "Did you not notice?" she asked softly. "As we walk back, look at the path." The pot was confused, but as they began the journey home, it looked down. And for the first time, it noticed something beautiful. On its side of the path, all along the way, there was a vibrant, flourishing row of wildflowers and lush green grass. On the other side of the path, where the perfect pot was carried, the ground was dry and barren. The old woman looked at the cracked pot and said, "I have always known about your flaw. It was I who planted flower seeds on your side of the path. Every day as we walk back, you have been watering them. Because of you, and because of your crack, I am able to pick these beautiful flowers to decorate my home. Without you being just the way you are, there would be no this beauty to grace my house." Let this story seep into the deepest parts of your being. We all have our cracks. We all have our flaws, our imperfections, our perceived failures, our not okay parts. And we spend so much of our energy trying to fix these cracks. We try to patch them up, hide them, pretend they don't exist. We feel ashamed of them, just like the cracked pot. This story, a beautiful piece of spiritual wisdom, offers a revolutionary perspective. What if your cracks are not mistakes? What if your flaws are not failures? What if the very things you judge most harshly in yourself are, in fact, the source of a unique and unintended beauty in the world? What if your sensitivity, which you sometimes see as a weakness, is actually what allows you to water the seeds of compassion in others? What if your past struggles, which you see as a source of shame, are exactly what give you the depth and wisdom to help someone else on their path? What if your anxiety, which feels like a flaw, is what makes you creative, thoughtful, and deeply empathetic to the fragility of life? Radical acceptance means trusting that there is a wise, old woman, call it life, the universe, God, or the Tao, who knows about your cracks and has planted flower seeds along your path. Your only job is to be just as you are. Your job is to stop trying to fix the pot. This is the deepest form of healing from within. It's the healing that comes from no longer needing to be healed. It is the ultimate paradox. True wholeness is found not in becoming perfect, but in embracing our beautiful, flawed, cracked humanity. This is the trust that nothing needs to be fixed. So right now, in this moment, let go of the project of self-improvement. Just for tonight, give yourself a vacation from trying to be better, calmer, more spiritual, or more healed. Whatever state you are in right now is perfectly okay. If your mind is busy, that's okay. That's the flower of intellectual vibrancy. If you feel a little sad, that's okay. That's the flower of a deep and feeling heart. If you are restless, that's okay. That's the flower of vital energy. Let it all be. Trust the wisdom of the whole system. You don't have to fix your breathing for your body to be oxygenated. You don't have to fix your digestion for your food to be nourished. Your being has an innate intelligence. Can you trust that this intelligence also applies to your mind, your emotions, and your journey towards sleep? This is a form of deep sleep hypnosis that works by releasing all effort. Let go of the need to get to sleep. Sleep is not a destination you must fight to reach. It is a state you surrender into when you stop trying to go anywhere. Let the hypnotic phrase, "nothing to fix, nothing to chase," be your lullaby. Nothing to fix in your past. Nothing to chase in your future. There is only this present moment, and in this present moment, you are whole and complete, cracks and all. Feel a wave of profound relief wash over you as you let go of this burden of self-improvement. Feel the muscles in your body soften even more deeply. Feel the frantic energy in your mind begin to settle, like dust falling in a still room. Everything is okay. Even the parts that you think are not okay are okay. They are just watering the flowers. Trust in this natural unfolding. Trust that rest will come. Trust that peace is already here. Trust that you are exactly who and where you are supposed to be in this very moment. You are the cracked pot, and your journey is making the world more beautiful in ways you may never even know. Rest in that knowledge. Rest in that deep, unconditional acceptance of yourself. Now we surrender. No effort remains. We drift into sacred sleep where no thought follows, only peace. Now we surrender. No effort remains. We drift into sacred sleep where no thought follows, only peace. We have arrived at the final threshold of our journey tonight. We have moved through stillness, acknowledgement, naming, and storytelling. We have breathed through resistance, transformed suffering into compassion, rested in the vastness of emptiness, returned to the simplicity of the breath. And finally, we have embraced the profound trust that nothing needs to be fixed. All the work is done. All the lessons from these Buddhist bedtime stories and Zen parables have been planted like seeds in the garden of your subconscious mind. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to understand. No effort remains. The final core principle is the simplest and most profound of all: total surrender. It is the final act of letting go, the gentle release into the deep, healing ocean of sleep, entering a state of rest that is beyond identity, beyond thought, beyond even the dreamer. Let us use one final, simple image to guide you across this last threshold. It is a story told not in words, but in the quiet wisdom of nature. Imagine a single, perfect autumn leaf clinging to the branch of a great tree. All through the spring and summer, it worked hard. It drank in the sunlight, performed its photosynthesis, nourished the tree, and provided shade. It lived its life fully. But now the season has turned. The air is crisp and cool. The sun's light is soft and golden. The leaf's work is done. Its vibrant green has turned to a brilliant crimson and gold. It is at the peak of its beauty, a final, glorious expression of its life. The leaf does not struggle to stay on the branch. It does not fear the fall. It does not mourn the end of its time as a leaf. It has an innate, cellular trust in the cycle of life. It knows, in a way that is deeper than thought, that letting go is not an end, but a transformation. It waits for the perfect moment. A gentle breeze, a slight shift in the air. And then, with no effort, no resistance, no fear, it simply releases its grip. It lets go, and it falls, but it does not plummet. It drifts. It dances on the air currents. It spirals and floats, surrendered completely to the wind that carries it. This final journey is one of grace and beauty. Finally, it comes to rest gently on the forest floor, joining a carpet of other leaves. There, it will slowly dissolve, becoming part of the rich earth that will, in turn, nourish the roots of the very tree from which it fell, feeding the new life of the next spring. You now are that leaf. Your day is over. Your work is done. You have lived and thought and felt. Now is the time for release. Now is the time to let go of the branch of wakefulness. Feel the last tiny bit of holding on, the last vestige of control in your mind and body. And now, with your next exhale, just like the leaf, let it go. Surrender completely. There is no effort needed now. The force of gravity, the gentle pull of sleep, will do everything for you. All you have to do is allow it. Let yourself fall into the deep, soft bed of rest that is waiting for you. Imagine yourself floating gently down a quiet river. Drifting, floating down. Let the silence speak where words no longer matter. Any thoughts that appear now are just distant clouds in a faraway sky. Let them drift by. They have no hold on you. You are entering the sacred sleep. The sleep where the body repairs itself. The sleep where the mind is cleansed. The sleep where the spirit is renewed. Close your eyes and allow the world to fade completely. Let this story become your dream. You are the leaf dancing on the breeze, completely safe, completely free. There is nothing to fix. There is nothing to chase. There is only this deep, profound, and peaceful rest. Let go of your name. Let go of your stories. Let go of your body. merge with the peace that is all around you and within you. The stillness of the Buddhist temple is here. The compassion of the lotus flower is here. The wisdom of the empty cup is here. The trust of the cracked pot is here. Let them all dissolve into a single feeling: peace. Breathe in peace. Breathe out and dissolve into peace. Let the gentle rhythm of your breathing be the quiet lullaby that carries you into the deepest, most healing sleep you have had in a very long time. The world slows down for you now. Everything is okay. Everything is peaceful. Rest now. Surrender. Sleep. We hope these Buddhist teachings and Zen stories for deep sleep have brought you to a place of profound peace and calm. Letting go is a practice, and you have taken a beautiful step on the path tonight. If this journey has resonated with you, we would be honored to hear about your experience in the comments below. Your story might be the light someone else needs to see. For now, there is nothing left to do. Only rest. Deep, peaceful, healing rest.